Hello and welcome to the show. This is Soccer Now with myself, Samuel Reese, coming to you live from Lexington, Kentucky. Today is Wednesday, August 8th, 2018. Hope everyone is doing good, and really we have a ton to talk about on today's show. And why not? Let's get right into what I'll be discussing on today's show. Let's take a look at the Premier League at the end of 2017 and 18. So after 38 games played at the end of the season, this is what the table looked like. Plus 38 differential and 77 points. Fourth place, Liverpool with a plus 46 differential and 75 points. Fifth place was Chelsea with a plus 24 differential and 70 points. Sixth place was Arsenal with a plus 23 differential and 63 points. Seventh place was Burnley with a minus 3 differential and 54 points. Eighth place was Everton with a minus 14 differential and 49 points. Ninth place was Leicester City with a minus 4 differential and 47 points. And 10th place was Newcastle with a minus 8 differential and 44 points. So that's what the top half of the table looked like. We're talking about how it might change this season, or what it'll look like this season anyway. So that's that. Also, Phil Shane of beIN Sports, he did pick his crystal ball for different Premier League sides, so we'll be discussing what he said. For Man City, he said they need to get Mario Lemina and out Joe Hart, and they need a defensive mid. For Man United, he said in Toby Alderweireld, out Anthony Martial, and need a central defender. For Tottenham, he said in Wilfried Zaha and Jack Grealish, and out Toby Alderweireld, and they need a central defender and striker. For Liverpool, he said nobody needs to come in, and out Divock Origi, and they need a striker. Also, Chelsea played Lyon, and the final score was Chelsea 0, Lyon 0, and Chelsea won 5-4 in a penalty shootout. So speaking of Chelsea, he said for them that in Kepa Arrizabalaga and Mateo Kovacic, and out Thibaut Courtois, and they need a central defender. And also, Stan Kroenke has placed a bid for Arsenal as the club majority shareholder looks to buy the whole of the club. So who is Stan Kroenke? He's the chairman and CEO of Kroenke Sport and Entertainment. He's the majority shareholder of Arsenal, the owner and CEO of Los Angeles Rams, owner of the Colorado Rapids, owner of the Colorado Mammoth, and the owner of the Los Angeles Gladiators. And his net worth is reported to be $8.1 billion. So yeah, that's a look at who he is. And so we'll discuss a little bit about that. Also, notable Champions League qualifiers from yesterday. Slavia Prague 1, Dynamo Kiev 1, Standard Liège 2, Ajax 2, Benfica 1, Fenerbahce 0, Karabag FK 0, Bate Borisov 1, and FC Astana 0, and Dinamo Zagreb 2. So those are Champions League qualifiers. So we'll be discussing that a little bit. Also, Usain Bolt did make the cut as he earned an indefinite training period with the Central Coast Mariners. So Usain Bolt did have a message saying, "I'm on the way. Remember, I don't think limits." So cool to see that. So speaking of Usain Bolt, we'll look at FIFA 18's fastest 5. Aubameyang of Borussia Dortmund, the striker, age 29, has a 96 pace. Biabiany of Sparta Prague, the right winger who's 30 years old, also has a 96 pace. Bellerin of Arsenal, the right back who's age 23, has a 95 pace. Bali of Firth, the right midfielder, is 26 years old with also a 95 pace. And Asante of FCN, the right winger, age 28, also has a 95 pace. That's courtesy of EA Sports. So cool to see that. Also, we'll be talking about the top 5 transfer tracker stories. 5 is that Christian Ramirez has been traded to LAFC, so a big move in MLS. 4 is Kepa Arrizabalaga is to replace Thibaut Courtois. 3, Man United has offered Juan Mata to Inter. Very interesting. 2, Atletico Madrid are near a deal with Nikola Kalinic. And one, Mateo Kovacic is linked to a Chelsea move. So a lot more news, really. Also, Issam El Hadari has called it quits as the Egypt goalkeeper has retired from international football at age 45. Incredible. Also, remember, Ligue 1 match week 1 is live on beIN Sports. It's Marseille versus Toulouse on Friday at 2:40 p.m. Eastern Time, 11:40 a.m. Pacific Time. It's Nantes versus Monaco on Saturday at 10:55 a.m. Eastern Time, 7:55 a.m. Pacific Time. And it's PSG versus Caen on Sunday at 2:55 p.m. Eastern Time and 11:55 a.m. Pacific Time. And all those games are on beIN Sports. So getting ready for Liga. And also, look who's back at work. Neymar and Kylian Mbappe did pose for a picture at practice. So good to see them back together. And we'll also be talking about the PSG Trident. Here are the numbers for the 2017-18 season in all competitions. Cavani had 40 goals in 48 games. Neymar, 28 goals in 30 games. And Mbappe, 21 goals in 46 games. So absolutely impressive. So who will be in the race for the league on top scorer? Could it be Edinson Cavani, as he netted as much goals as appearances in the 17-18 league season? Could it be Neymar? He scored 19 goals in 20 league appearances last season. Or could it be Kylian Mbappe? He tallied 13 goals in 28 league matches. So a goal-scoring battle there too. So also, is it Timothy's time as Timothy Weah looks to show his worth in the 2018-19 season? Absolutely something we'll be discussing. Also, Grimsby Town FC provided a grim performance as the League Two team gave a class in what not to do as a defender. I'll be discussing that later. Also, trying to catch him riding dirty. That would be Zlatan Ibrahimovic as he rode his motorbike in Los Angeles. So Zlatan doing whatever he wants. Also, everyone's favorite summer viral dance as Christian Vieri did the hashtag Bobo dance. So cool to see that. And remember, the locker room is back on beIN Eastern Time, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Time. A great show where all the beIN Sports figures talk about really everything going on in all the best leagues from Europe, and it's a great show. So tune in on Friday for that. So that's everything we are going to be talking about today. A lot really to discuss, but we'll start off with last year's Premier League. As at the end of 2017-18, of course, Man City winning the league, and then Man United second, Tottenham third, Liverpool fourth, Chelsea fifth, Arsenal 6th, Burnley 7th, Everton 8th, Leicester City 9th, and Newcastle 10th. So Man City did win the league by 19 points. Very impressive, of course. But then Man United did come in second. Man United, Tottenham, and Liverpool were all near each other in that top four to get to the Champions League. Of course, those are the Champions League. And then Chelsea on 70 points in fifth will go to Europa League. And Arsenal on 63 points will also go to Europa League qualifying, I believe it is. But Burnley in seventh also are in the they have to play 2 qualifying rounds in order to get into Europa League, but still have a chance. And then Everton missing out on European spots, which is a little bit surprising. Although Everton has been really inconsistent the last couple of years. And good for Leicester to stay in that top 10 after the magic year, really. And Newcastle getting in there, the promoted team getting into the top half of the table. So how will it look this season? In my mind, I think that it will be Man City first place. And I have crazy things happening, to be honest. I have Liverpool second place. And then Chelsea third and Arsenal fourth. So I do have Man United and Tottenham out of the top 4. I just see Tottenham. I don't see anything big happening this offseason. And very much I feel like just Harry Kane really is the only hope that team has to get in the top 4. And I don't see it happening. I feel like Chelsea will be an entertaining team this season. in a surprise. And with Arsenal, with a new coach in Aubameyang and Lacazette, I feel like it will finally click this season for Arsenal. I'm not saying they will get into the top four, but they have a chance. But I think they'll edge it out. It'll be close battle for that fourth spot, though, I believe. And then Man United, I feel like with all the Jose Mourinho news going on, it's not going to go that well this season. But I don't know. It's a bold prediction by me, but we'll see what happens, really. So speaking of the crystal ball, which I was talking about later, for Man City, Phil Shane of beIN Sports says, in Mario Lemina, out Joe Hart, and they need a defensive midfielder. So definitely Lemina, one of Southampton's talented players, and the way Southampton has been over the years, you would think Man City probably would get Lemina because Southampton really a selling club, and it's quite ridiculous, really, how many great players Southampton gives away. But Lemina, a very good talent. And then, of course, Joe Hart has left and to Burnley, and so probably that's what was needed because he was never going to start with Bravo and Ederson at the club. But definitely need a defensive midfielder. I absolutely agree. But nothing too much to tweak for Manchester City because it's a great team, really. And maybe I'm not sure what defensive midfielder they need. They could get, to be honest. But definitely maybe to strengthen that team in that midfield area and help the defense out. Maybe it's a needed position, but not sure. It's really a tough crystal ball for Man City because not much to change. For Man United, though, Phil Shane said in Toby Alderweireld and out Anthony Martial, and they need a central defender. So absolutely, it does look like they will get Alderweireld, which would be a huge pickup, really, and he would help at that in that defense. But you think Anthony Martial would be on his way out because it seems like he's been really skipping training, not coming back after his wife gave birth, I believe. But really, it's a chaos for Anthony Martial. So it seems like he'll probably be on his way out. He probably seems like he does want out of Manchester. And so that definitely seems like for Man United, getting Martial out will be fine because it doesn't seem like he wants to be there anyway. And getting Alderweireld in would be great for them. And a central defender definitely needed for Man United because they did Man City had a plus 79 differential with Man United with a plus 40 in second place. So not a bad differential, but definitely allowing probably more goals than they would have been pleased for. So definitely a central defender would be a big a need for Man United, I'd say, heading into this 2018 and 19 campaign. But we'll see what they end up doing. Also for Tottenham, Phil Shane said in Wilfred Zaha and Jack Grealish and out Toby Alderweireld, and they need a central defender and striker. So I pretty much absolutely agree with all this. If Tottenham wants to become a top four team at least, they definitely need to make a couple more moves before the deadline, which is actually tomorrow, 5 UK time, noon time here on the east coast of the US, 9 a.m. on the west coast. So I definitely agree that Zaha would be a big pickup because basically in my opinion, he should go to one of the big clubs in England because he's been absolutely phenomenal for Crystal Palace. Really, in my opinion, the only reason Crystal Palace has been able to stay up over the last couple of years. And and he'd be a huge pickup for Tottenham. I definitely think Zaha deserves to go there. Also, Grealish, the Aston Villa star, really, he's been absolutely fantastic, and it would be it would be a good pickup for Tottenham too. Grealish and Zaha, really two players playing on lower clubs in England, even Aston Villa in the second division. But I bet Aston Villa fans would be sad to see Grealish go to Tottenham. But we'll see what goes on. Also, out definitely Toby Alderweireld because it seems like he's on his way out of Tottenham, and it would be fine with Tottenham. They still have Vertonghen at the back. But with Alderweireld leaving, probably need a central defender to strengthen up that defense, and also a striker, which would be big for Tottenham because Tottenham is definitely a team that is relying on Harry Kane up top, and it would be cool to see a good striker that Tottenham could get alongside Harry Kane. Although it doesn't seem like that will be happening. Tottenham's been very silent this transfer window, so we'll see what goes on though. Also for Liverpool, Phil Shane said nobody to come in, that they need an out Divock Origi, and that they need a striker. So it doesn't seem like they need anyone to come in. Liverpool's been quite impressive, to be quite honest. And Divock Origi, it definitely seems like they don't need him that much. He hasn't got much playing time. It seems like he'll be on his way out. Maybe Ings too. But if Liverpool did get a striker, it would definitely be something that Liverpool's, if they did get a striker, then they'd be absolutely impressive up top. And what a pickup that would be if that were to happen. Also, Chelsea did play Lyon, as I mentioned. It was 0-0. Chelsea won 5-4 in a penalty shootout, and some International Champions Cup action. So kind of a boring game, I'd say, 0-0. But Chelsea got the win in penalty shootout, their last game before their match at Huddersfield on Saturday. So cool to see that. So for Chelsea, Phil Shane said in Kepa Arrizabalaga and Mateo Kovacic, and out Thibaut Courtois, and they need a central defender. So in my opinion, that would be huge for Chelsea to get those two players, because Kepa, obviously a fantastic goalie. It looks like Courtois is on his way out, and Kepa would be a great replacement for that, for the Atletico Madrid man. He's been absolutely impressive for Atletico. And also Mateo Kovacic. It does look like he'll be going to Chelsea. We'll talk about that on the transfer tracker later, but Kovacic, an absolutely impressive player, the Real Madrid man, and from Croatia, of course. And definitely seems like Thibaut Courtois is on his way out, and he's been skipping practice and all. And so, yeah, definitely out Thibaut Courtois. But if Kepa came in, I'd be happy as a Chelsea fan myself to see that. And a central defender would be needed for Chelsea, I'd say, because they're a little weak at the back. Their only weak spot, in my opinion. If their midfield and forwards playing well, though, I think they should be fine. They'll be a great team if that happens. Also, Stan Kroenke has placed a bid for Arsenal. The club majority shareholder does look to buy the whole of the club. And if you don't know who he is, he's the chairman and CEO of Kroenke Sport and Entertainment. I'll say this once again. He's the Arsenal majority shareholder, the Los Angeles Rams owner and CEO, the Colorado Rapids owner, Colorado Mammoth owner, and Los Angeles Gladiators owner. So you can really tell how rich this guy really is. And his net worth is reported to be $8.1 billion, which is absolutely insane, to say the least, because to see that happen, to see a guy this rich, it's crazy. But many Arsenal fans don't like that he wants to be to buy the whole of the club, but they've disagreed with some decisions he's made. But he's absolutely rich. It's ridiculous, really, and we'll see how everything works out at Arsenal. But who knows? Also, Champions League qualifiers: Slavia Prague and Dynamo Kiev played to a 1-1 draw. Standard Liège Ajax played to a 2-2 draw. Benfica beating Fenerbahce 1-0. The Portuguese side winning. Also, Karabag losing to Bate Borisov 1-0, and FC Astana losing to Dinamo Zagreb 2-0. So some great action around the league, around the world, around Europe, I should say, in the Champions League qualifiers, leg one. Maybe a little surprising that Dynamo Kiev did tie Ajax, tying Standard Liège. Of course, Standard Liège does have Ochoa, but he could be on his way to Napoli, as we've heard the last couple of days anyway. And Benfica with a huge win, really, over Fenerbahce. My brother likes Benfica. I like Porto, and my dad likes Sporting. So it's a divided family, to say the least, when it comes to Portugal. But my dad's from Portugal, so we're huge Portuguese fans. And for all you Portuguese fans watching, if you don't have the channel to watch the Portuguese league, if you get Fubo TV, you can watch games on your computer. It's $20 a month for the Portuguese package, which comes with beIN Sports Spanish channel, Gold TV, RTPI, and Benfica TV. So it's a great package, really, and they show all the big three games on Gold TV. Benfica TV shows all Benfica games, and it's great to get. I just got it the other day, and I watched Benfica's game versus Fenerbahce yesterday on Benfica TV, although I am a Porto fan. But I'm excited for the Portuguese league to start this weekend, and it'll be fun for the Portuguese league to start, as Porto are the defending champions after Benfica winning 4 years in a row, I believe. It might even have been 5. But Sporting, on the other hand, they're in a troubling situation, really. But we'll see how everything goes this season, but definitely exciting. And on Tuesdays on Gold TV, they air a show called Portugal, which is they recap the whole weekend and show all the highlights. It is Gold TV's Spanish channel. You can pay more for the English channel, but unfortunately they don't have Benfica TV's the only in RTPI are the Portuguese channels, are the channels that are in Portuguese. But anyway, if you want to get that, you should, because it's definitely worth it. Benfica plays Vitória Guimarães on Friday, and Porto plays Chaves on Saturday, and on Sunday Sporting plays Moreirense. So yeah, so absolutely exciting in the Portuguese league. And sorry I got off topic. I'm a huge Portuguese soccer fan since my dad's from there. But yeah, exciting stuff going on. Also, Usain Bolt has earned an indefinite training period with the Central Coast Mariners. So good to see Usain Bolt earn that. And he had a message. He said, "I'm on the way, remember, I don't think limits." So absolutely cool to see Usain Bolt playing professional soccer. Really an amazing guy, because obviously, like the fastest man in the world, and was a track star, really. And now always wanted to play soccer as a professional. And now that he retired from track, he's gonna play soccer. So great to see that, and him make the cut, really. And good for Usain Bolt. Absolutely amazing. Also, so speaking of Usain Bolt and how fast he is, FIFA 18's fastest 5 include Aubameyang, Biabiani, Bellerin, Boli, and Asante, courtesy of EA Sports, with Aubameyang and Biabiani with both 96 pace, and Bellerin, Boli, and Asante with 95 pace. So really the fastest soccer players in the world, those 5. And yeah, so that's pretty cool. Also, going to the transfer tracker, Christian Ramirez has been traded to LAFC, so a huge MLS move before the deadline. Christian Ramirez, really a standout player for Minnesota United, and that with LAFC picking him up, definitely will be a big help for LAFC, especially getting closer to the postseason. Before we'll know it, we know it will be at the postseason, which is pretty crazy to think about. This MLS season has been spectacular, really. Also, Kepa Arrizabalaga is to replace Thibaut Courtois. So Chelsea, it looks like they found the goalie that they can get, and it'll definitely be interesting to see Kepa come to Chelsea, because it definitely is evident that Courtois is gonna go to Real, or at least you think so. Nothing's official yet, but all indications say so. And so Kepa, an absolutely fantastic goalie. As a Chelsea fan, I gotta think that's the best replacement, really, for Courtois. And that would be fun to see Kepa come to Chelsea, if that is true that he will come to London. Also, Man United have offered Juan Mata to Inter. So really crazy Inter right here, by the way. It looks like Juan Mata may be off to Inter. We always knew Jose Mourinho wasn't a big Juan Mata fan. When Jose Mourinho was at Chelsea, he sold Juan Mata to Man United. Then Jose Mourinho ended up at Man United and didn't give Juan Mata much playing time, although he played pretty well lately in the last season anyway, I'd say, when he was on. But it looks like Jose Mourinho is still not a big fan of him. And so Juan Mata to Inter, that would be crazy, especially with reports that Modric might go to Inter. Inter's really looking to get anyone, quite honestly, because earlier there were goofy reports saying that they were trying to get Messi. So Inter are really serious, though, about this transfer window this summer, and I'd say they're trying to make a big run in Serie A this season. So yeah, definitely. Also, Atletico Madrid are near a deal with Nikola Kalinic, so Atletico would add on to the talent they've got, including Gelson Martins and Thomas Lamar. But Kalinic, I'm not sure about him because, as you know, the AC Milan man from Croatia refused to go on as a substitute in the first game of the World Cup versus Nigeria. And so the coach sent him home, and look what Croatia did, go all the way to the final. So really not a good decision from Kalinic to do that. And probably the reason why AC Milan was all right with him going to Atletico Madrid. But we'll see how much playing time he gets with Atletico Madrid. But we'll see all that. Yeah, exciting stuff. Also, of course, Mateo Kovacic has been linked to a Chelsea move. I think this would be great for Chelsea, getting Kepa in goal and Kovacic in that Chelsea midfield. I'm excited as a Chelsea fan, despite the Community Shield loss. I feel like this season could either be phenomenal or a little bumpy in the road. But I hope I'm edging towards the great season that could be expected from this Blues team. And I know nothing's official yet with Kepa and Kovacic, but it definitely looks evident that it will happen for both of them, really, especially Kepa, because with Courtois leaving, they need a goalie. So you'd expect them to go out and get Kepa, but Kovacic, a talented Real Madrid midfielder, still not quite sure, to be honest, why he didn't start for Croatia in the World Cup. He had come off the bench quite often and was a difference maker, in my opinion. Kovacic, I love him on Real Madrid, really, but would be a big pickup for Chelsea. Absolutely. And also good to see El Hadari call it quits, as the Egypt goalkeeper has retired from international football at age 45, the oldest player ever to play at a World Cup. And very impressive by Assam El Hadari. And about time he retires. He needs a break now. Anyway, looking forward to Ligue 1 match week 1 on beIN Sports. Marseille plays Toulouse on Friday. Nantes plays Monaco on Saturday, and PSG plays Caen on Sunday. So really the big clubs in France playing this weekend on beIN Sports. And watch all the action this weekend. It will be great with Ligue 1 back. Marseille, hopefully they can get off to a good start for themselves, taking on the Toulouse side in the Ligue 1 opener, actually. And also, Monaco definitely should beat Nantes. Nantes, of course, has Matt Miazga. And then PSG should absolutely beat Caen. But it'll be fun to see the Ligue 1 powerhouses. Not powerhouses. Well, PSG, the powerhouse. But League, one of the best teams take on each other this weekend. And also, Neymar and Kylian Mbappe did take a picture with each other at practice. So good to see Mbappe and Neymar back together, and excited for the season. Also, the PSG trident is a huge topic, really. The numbers for the 2017-18 season. Cavani had 40 goals in 48 games. Neymar, 28 goals in 30 games. Mbappe, 21 goals in 46 games. So who will be the league on top scorer? You definitely expect it to be one of those three, really. All PS basically battles within that club for the Golden Boot. But could it be Edinson Cavani? Could it be Neymar? Or could it be Kylian Mbappe? I think Cavani will do all right. I think he'll do pretty good. But I think Neymar, coming off the World Cup, he'll do just like Cavani all right. But I feel like Mbappe, with the confidence coming out of this World Cup, will do phenomenal. I have a feeling Mbappe is going to get the most goals in Ligue 1 this season. I just have a feeling. But we'll see if it's Mbappe's year or not. But I definitely think it's the right year to happen. And I feel like it only makes sense after the great World Cup he did have. Also, is it Timothy's time as Timothy Weah looks to show his worth in 2018-19 season? You definitely argue that, maybe a little young, but we'll see how much playing time he gets with PSG. But definitely something to keep an eye on with Timothy Weah. the American-born talent, and exciting to see Weah this season. Also, Grimsby Town FC gave a class in what not to do as a defender as they scored an embarrassing own goal, the defender kicking it into their net as the goalie was way off frame after passing to the defender. Very embarrassing. That's League Two, though, in England, so don't feel it is the 4th division, so give them a break. But also, Zlatan Ibrahimovic did ride his motorbike in Los Angeles, which is quite Zlatan-like, and you can't question him or say not to do that because he's Zlatan. He can do whatever he wants. So cool to see Zlatan doing that, though, also. And, that's all we've got for today's show, and I hope you enjoyed. And we will be back tomorrow with, I'm sure, a lot more news. No soccer today, although the women's U20 World Cup is going on right now, by the way. The U.S. did lose their first game to Japan. They play tomorrow versus Paraguay. But there is a game later today in about 28 minutes, actually, at 1:30 Eastern Time, 10:30 a.m. Pacific. It's, who's playing? France, the host, versus New Zealand. So make sure you tune into that a little. It's a good tournament. And it's only like about 2 weeks long. So it's group stage. Tune into that on Fox Sports 2, by the way. And we'll see you next time. Bye. Thanks for tuning in.